Hey y'all. Okay, I wanted to share this with you guys. A little while back, I believe I did a video concerning Medcure. It was a a body donation company, okay, that had been raided by the FBI. That's not it. Okay. Well, anyways, sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, I had done a video a little while back about Medcure. Okay, it's a organization in Portland, Oregon, and they donate body parts and stuff like that, for research. Okay, well, they had been raided in November of 2017 for, I guess, like, improper handling and stuff like that of the bodies. Okay, but this right here goes hand in hand with all of that, so I wanted to read it to y'all. Chinese tanker had a container full of dead bodies. Exporting companies are using Chinese ships, planes, and trucks to transport dead Americans across the world for research purposes, according to a Thursday report from Reuters. A Hong Kong flagged cargo ship departed South Carolina in July, carrying 6,000 pounds of human remains valued at $67,204. The container's temperature was set to 5 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent the parts from spoiling. Relatives of the dead, meanwhile, did not realize their loved ones' remains were being dismembered and sent to Europe and elsewhere. The body brokers like Oregon-based Medcure rely on lax regulations to export heads, shoulders, knees, and toes to Mexico, China, Venezuela, and Saudi Arabia, among several other countries. Plastic surgeons in Germany use heads to practice new techniques, while thousands of parts are shipped overseas annually. There are people who wouldn't necessarily mind where the specimens were sent if they were fully informed. Brandy Schmidt, who directs a body donation system at the University of California, told reporters about the trade, which is still shrouded in mystery. But clearly there are plenty of donors that do mind and that don't feel like they're getting enough information. The FBI raided Medcure in November, which culminated in a federal investigation. Medcure is committed to meeting and exceeding the highest standards in the industry. It takes very seriously its obligation to not only deliver safe specimens securely, but to do it in a way that respects the donors, said the company's lawyer, Jeffrey Edelson, who declined to comment on the nature of the raid. Families of those in the ships were shocked to hear that their husbands, fathers, and daughters were shipped overseas. Marie Gallegos, whose husband's head was shipped to a dental school in Israel months after he died of a heart attack, told reporters that she should have read the fine print of the form she signed allowing his parts to be donated for science and research. Had I known that my husband's head was over there, I would have waited to have the ceremony. If they really wanted my husband's body for these purposes, they should have told me up front and verbally. Regulators are also concerned the parts might be infected with HIV or some other highly infectious disease. There is a disconnect between what the industry and government believe is dangerous. Matthew Zahn, chairman of the Public Health Committee for the Infectious Diseases Society of America, told news reporters. It's a situation where we don't have a huge amount of regulation or clarity as to what the risks are, Zahn said. It feels like one of those cracks in the system where a practice has developed and the risk factors and oversight have not fully matured. Current regulations cover body parts intended for transplant, such as hearts and livers, which have allowed some unsavory elements of the industry to bubble to the top. FBI investigators raided the warehouse of another so-called body broker last year and found a grisly discovery. Court papers revealed the building, owned and operated by businessman Arthur Rathburn, was littered with dead flies, dog bowls, and human remains frozen together in huge chunks. Oh. Rathburn's business, International Biological Incorporation, became a target after routine border stops found he was ferrying human heads to Mexico on their way to forlorn parts of the globe. Court's records show. The jury ultimately found Rathburn guilty for fraud for supplying his customers with body parts infected with HIV and hepatitis. The fraud scheme, orchestrated by IBI, shocked even the most experienced of our investigative team. FBI Special Agent in Charge David Gilios told reporters, donors were victimized as IBI intentionally and recklessly marketed and transported contaminated human remains. Personal greed overcame decency, he said in a statement after the verdict. Okay, so this is disgusting. You know what they said about Arthur Rathburn, it's disgusting. Okay, but anyways, it just, yeah, I mean, the families need to be informed, you know, I feel like, you know, as to what exactly they're going to do to the body, because a lot of people feel like when they donate their organs or their bodies to science, I mean, they don't really realize, you know, exactly what is going to go down or how it's going to be donated or what's going to actually be donated. You know, and I mean, they know that they're sending it for donation, and they do, you know, some people understand that, you know, yes, the body's going to be mutilated somewhat. But it would, you know, it helps with just having a peace of mind, knowing what's going to happen. You know, they need to let them know if they're planning on shipping it off to another country, or, you know, like in Arthur Rathburn's situation, him and his wife were hacking up bodies with chainsaws. Okay, they weren't even using a proper, you know, surgical tools or proper tools like they were supposed to. They were handling the bodies improperly. They were not, they were contaminated. You know, they didn't have them packaged properly. You know, a couple times he got stopped at the airports because his, the things he was carrying the body parts in were actually leaking blood everywhere. Okay, so you got a lot of sick people like him who are not, you know, following proper procedures. Okay, you know, and it does help, you know, if the family of the person who has died, you know, has some type of knowledge, you know, as to what's going on when they sign this paperwork. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want to donate. So, I mean, it's great to donate someone's body to science if they're doing what they're supposed to do with it. But, I mean, you have people, like, literally just selling things like crazy, you know, from the person who's died. You know, they sell it. They make all this money off of it. They're chopping up the bodies, you know, improperly. They're sending them over to China and all these other countries and stuff. You know, it would be nice to know what's going to happen, you know, after you sign that paperwork. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. It kind of, you know, someone sent me something about this, so I wanted to touch base on it and let y'all know the reality. Sometimes, you know, when you are an organ donor, or if your family donates your body to science, this is what happens. You know, things like this. So you guys have a great day. If you need to send me anything, my email and my Facebook link is down below. You can friend request me if you need to send something, because sometimes I don't get the notifications, you know, that I even have something unless you're a friend on Facebook. So email me or Facebook me, whatever. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.